Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm diving into one of the most powerful but totally overlooked features inside IK Multimedia's Tonex, the VIR Cabinets. And this is the perfect time to start using them because IK just added something really helpful to their website, a complete guide showing exactly what cab is what inside Tonex. No more guessing. So what are VIR cabs? VIR stands for Volumetric Impulse Response. Instead of giving you just one static mic position like a traditional IR, VIR gives you the ability to move microphones around to shape your tone. Now, Tonex doesn't include quite as much as you would find in Amplitude 5 as far as VIR control goes, but you still get some extremely useful tools. You can choose between three microphones, the Condenser 414, the Dynamic 57, or the Ribbon 121. And in real life, these are basically pointing to an AKG 414 condenser mic, a Shure SM57 dynamic mic, or a Royer R121 ribbon mic. You can load up to two microphones at once, use the blend knob to dial in the perfect balance between them, and you can also drag each mic around to where you want depending on the tone you're searching for. There's also a resonance control that goes from 0 to 10. This adds or subtracts low-end thump and cabinet bloom, so it's great for shaping the feel and fullness of the tone. But here's been the frustrating part. Tonex cab names, probably for space limitations, are super vague. You'd see something like 112 Maz, 112 Tiny, 412 HW, and have no idea what it actually was. Was it a Mesa cab? Was it a Marshall cab? Who knows? This made it hard to work intentionally, especially if you were trying to match tones you knew from Amplitude. So the folks over at IK fixed this for us. They've recently published a full list of VIR cab names in the Tonex manual section of their website. So here I am on the Tonex webpage. I head over to the tab that says manuals, and you'll now see a full downloadable VIR list to see exactly which VIR is based off of which cabinet. So you can see here that we have the Tonex VIR name, 16 DK, 18 Champ, 110 Tone, 112 Deluxe, and so on and so forth. It has which cab that is based on, the Amplitude VIR name, and also the Amplitude collection that it has been taken from. So very, very cool that we can now download this, have it here as a reference, and know specifically what each of these abbreviated names is pointing to. And it's going to go a long way to allow us to quickly choose whichever particular cab we feel is going to suit what we are going after. I'm going to have a link to this in the description below. Seriously, this is a must-have if you want to get the most out of utilizing the VIR cabs within Tonex. So now let's head over to Tonex and take a look and listen to see exactly how these work. So I'm utilizing what would work beautifully with these VIR cabs, which are a set of DI or amp only captures. These particular captures, and the link will be below to these if you like what you hear, these are my Tone Quotient DI Ultimate captures based off of my incredible divided by 13 FTR 37 amp. What an incredibly gorgeous amp. I have amp cab captures of this as well, which were captured with that amp's matching cab. But for this video, it makes a lot more sense to utilize the DI amp only captures. When I deliver these presets, I do add in a custom IR, and you'll get a tone something like this. So really beautiful even with that custom IR. But the whole point of DI amp only captures is that we can mess around with different IRs, different speakers. We don't even really have to venture forth into the world of third-party impulse responses. So we can come up to our cab block here, click the little arrow down button. You're going to see here VIR. I'm set to custom IR right now. I click over to that, and now we have our control over our cabs and which cab we want to choose. So we can now cross-reference these with our list over here. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, I want to try this 212 blue, which is going to be a 212 Vox AC30 with Celestion Alnico blues from the Brian May collection. So I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to go with a classic pairing of a ribbon mic, 121R, and the Shure SM57 dynamic mic. Now, the way that I usually work on dialing these in is I'll take the blend control and move all the way to one mic. So you see here, it's gone all the way to the orange side, or number one. That's It's going to be mic 1. And I'm going to leave the resonance at the default 5. I'll show you what that does in a moment. But now I'm only listening to this ribbon mic here, and I can take this and move it around anywhere in this space to change tones. Now, obviously, if I start with it right dead center in the middle of the cone, it's going to have a particular sound that may not be what we want. We might want to take some of that edge out by moving it off axis a bit. And we may want to move it back to get rid of some of that bass response. You can hear as I move this around, we have a lot of flexibility to our tone here. So I could be happy with that, and then maybe I want to blend in some 57. So we'll go all the way over to the 57. And again, having this right on the dead center of the cone right up here is going to get a little grainy and harsh, but I might leave that there because blending it with the R10 mic might make the perfect complement. And I might want to go with a little bit more of the 121 and a little less of the 57. Now I can head down to my resonance control and see what that does. If I bring that to 0, I'm going to thin that sound out a bit. Hear how it's going to give that cabinet some bottom end bloom. The beautiful part is once I get those mics set up in these settings there, I can actually keep those settings and switch between cabs to see what those particular settings are going to sound like with different cabinets. And obviously we may have to move those mics around again as we switch cabs, as different cabs are going to sound very different. So I come down to something like the Red Pig. Or back to the original 212 Blue that I liked. So this is all built in right within Tonex for all of us to utilize. Now you might ask, what about Tonex Editor? Well, I have my Tonex pedal hooked up here, and you'll notice again, I can come into my cab block, and I'm using these same tone models here from my Tone Quotient Ultimate and DI. Again, the links are below. If you like these tones, you can grab a copy of those and help support the channel. I do appreciate it. So as it loads up, comes in with my custom IR that comes with this preset, but I can simply come over to this little button here, switch it down to VIR, and look at that. We have all the same cabs here. We have the same mic choices. We have the ability to blend. We have our resonance control, and we can even move this around in space here to get different tones. And the nice thing about here is it gives us our X and Z axis. We can actually know a particular number that coincides with the movements of each microphone. So very cool when we switch between the orange and the blue. The color updates down here. We can save that as a preset. So it gives us a really easy way to edit these right on our Tonex pedal. Sure, a lot of folks are going to ask also about Tonex ONE pedals. And sure enough, if we select our cab block, VIR, we have all the same things going on there. All the same control, and we can save that to our pedal. Really, really invaluable set of tools that we have within Tonex software, Tonex pedal, and Tonex ONE. So I hope that that was a helpful video, and those tips will help you to be able to get even more out of Tonex. If this video did help, please hit the like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more deep dives like this. Let me know in the comments, have you been using VIR cabs in Tonex, or is this your first time that you're going to be digging in? The link to the new cab list is in the description, and there's also a link to the Tone Quotient DI and Amp cab tone models down below if you're so inclined and want to grab a copy of those. I'm going to leave you today with a little bit of a snippet from the full demo video utilizing those tones in a mix. I really hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching. Go make some amazing music with these VIR cabs. Until next time, ciao for now.